Greetings, my fellow Fannie Mae and Freddie Mae warriors. So today is just a regular day. If you look at the volume, somebody just make a big purchase, like 1 million shares in a matter of 5 minutes. It was probably ordered. It was all or none, and they report when it was end. So we can. They need a couple of hours to fulfill it, but somebody buy it, and that is a big deal. So that means something is happening. Consider that somebody is ready to invest $10-20 million to buy the something what you can say it's still not sure what will happen, but if they invest $15 million, that means that they know what is happening. That is on one side. On the other side, today is like a day when the temporary fate for preferred shares will occur, and we'll know will the contract will be extended, or will they be redeemed, and for what amount. So if they receive the notice today up to 12, we'll see what will happen. It might happen that they're paid by the face value. It might happen that they're paid at par, and it might happen that they're paid at a value that it is market value plus, like, let's say, a couple of percent up. So all the options are possible, and we'll see what is going on. That is a big deal for Fannie and Freddie for now, because if they clear that preferred shares from the account, it will be much better balance sheet. I think that they put on aside the money for them, like I don't know how much, but let's say $30 billion was put on the side. But if they trade them at the market value, that means that they need to pay 15, 16, let's say 17, 18, with the premium, let's say even 20. So the $10 billion will stay extra on the books in case that they do at a current market value. At par, they will have if they are written off and paid by the par, they will have around $29 billion extra on the books. And if they are on a face value, so it will be, as the books will be stay the same as they are. That is in case that they decide the fate of the preferred shares today, because they should. On December 31st, 2025 is the renewal date for the FNMA S and FNMA T, and in case that they want to redeem them or renew the contract, it will be announced today, because it needs 30 days before a renewal date to be announced. So we'll see what is going on. In case that they keep them, most probably in a couple of years, when they start to pay the dividends, they will start to receive the dividends, and they will have some market value. For now, it is just speculation. Why I think they will not pay the dividends right away, because I believe that company will first do the stock buybacks. Why the stock buybacks? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and every company want to have in a reserves certain amount of the common shares as a backup in case that they need to sell to pull out the money. It is like reserves in the reserves, because they will be able to sell the shares on one side. On the other side, they will be able to buy the shares right now instead of to give the dividends, and that will increase the share price. Consider that we know, so that can happen after the uplist or IPO. It doesn't matter. Whatever it happens, is it uplist or IPO? The important is that, are we going to be traded at New York Stock Exchange? So at the moment we are. They can do the buybacks. And why I think that it is important for Pulte and Besant and Lutnick to do the buybacks, because if they want to sell the warrants, they want a better price for the shares as possible. and the easiest way to achieve that is with buybacks. So in case that they do like, let's say, $10 billion buyback or something like that, or $1 billion per year buyback, can you imagine this volume? Then this volume is like how much, let's say 50-60 million dollars is the volume per day for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Can you imagine that you hit the market with $1 billion? That is like $50 million per day buyback. You know, that is like 3 times volume than now we have to be in a buyback. That the price of the share would skyrocket. And if because let's say that warrants are, that they can execute the warrants, what I don't believe that they can. If they have 80% of the warrants, they want to decrease the amount of the volumes, even for wealth fund, because they don't want to keep it in the company so much, and they want to diversify a little. So let's say that they will decrease the volume of the shares to below 50%. Why below 50%? 50% is required, or less, to the company has to be listed in S&P 500. The government has less than 50%. That's what we found on the internet as one of the requirements. It's, if you try to search on some places, you will find that requirement, and on some places you will not. So let's say this requirement, or if they just want to diversify and pull out the money to have in wealth fund, not to be everything in one stock. So they will do they want to sell the shares of Fannie and Freddie, and the warrants. They have 80%, they want to go to 50. That's like 30% they want to sell. So if you're them, would you tell Pulte, okay, when it's listed, do the buyback. Do the buyback $1 billion per month. And he started doing, because the company makes 17 billion. Good part can go to because you cannot, there's nothing to invest more, you know, like what you will invest. 15 billion, 20 billion, you probably would pay off some debt. Let's say that they invest good percent. Even if we can count, okay, if they invest like 6 billion, let's say, just for easy math, that's 500 million per month. 20 working days, 25 million per day that they do the buyback. Can you imagine how much the price would rise? And if you're Besant and Ludwig, do you want to sell the warrants when you have higher price or the lower price? So they want to sell with the higher price, and if Pulte do that buyback, it will go up super fast and super high. And that's why I think that realistically price of the share is easy more than $100 because of those buybacks, and consider the company value overall. And after they sell that 20-30%, those buyers who they're selling, Besant and Lutnick, will not go to regular retailers like you and me. It will go to hedge funds who will put that, and you know, like maybe it will go to retirement funds. It will go to, because eventually company will start to pay the dividends. It will go to dividend ETFs. It will go to every possible DF. It will go to ETFs that they know that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac will go to S&P 500. So the price of the share will be unreal, and just keep on waiting. The good times are in front of us. So hold on. We are recovered from the $7 what we had last week. We are now like 50% up from last week. We are now $11 and it was like $7. So it is like we went 50% up in a week. Okay, it was down, but we are on a good path. So and we went from 16, 17, got down and we went up, and we'll continue up. So and what is also important, have in mind, don't forget that Pult is still not posting anything, announcing anything, because he is in IPO and 45 days pass. So we are good. And this week will be interesting, maybe next week. And also what happened, if you look at the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac also started to trade as before and after hours, and that is a big deal for uplisting. That means that the company and the market, New York Stock Exchange, is preparing us for the uplist. So probably they start to add us to all the features of the real stock. So still healthy, still wild with your investments. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, we go.